you were talking about your sister being your powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to invite her
Love
down.
that.
So Nipsey, Nipsey Laniyo, Olamido's one and only blood sister.
Okay.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And you know the series is the Maid of Honor series.
Mm.
You know, so you try giving her like an award. President General among the nation. We salute you,
President
President
General
General among
among
the
the
Wow.
nation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
You
me.
know, for coming. We thank you so much for taking time to chat with us today. We thank you for your help. We thank you for your labor of love.
Love.
Or is it you mean
Is I
Lamidon
should be the
that
one
okay? You
thanking
know
her.
what? Tell me personally something.
Okay, let me tell you some things.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. At least let me tell you something. Um, I take every opportunity to tell you, and I know you always ask me for what. Um, but thank you. Thank you for taking your role so seriously. Thank you for always being available. Um, Thank you that even in your own life season, you always weigh us as important for you to um, be there for. Um, Thank you for your expenses, not only financially, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Um, we see it, we know it, we feel it. I spoke earlier about how you helped me navigate last year a really difficult time. And honestly, since then, I'm very conscious of how I view the times that you spend for us, because I know for you it's an investment, but I also now weigh it as an investment that shouldn't be frittered away. So when you're available for us, I try to do the things that we would like to do, because you have made it possible for us to be able to do those things. So thanks, Nips. Love you very much. Aung.
Thank you. So can you tell us our made of? Okay, I think this is the part where you all can.
Hug and kiss.
Can you tell us about your favorite memories with? So okay, this is it. This is so I don't know how to say this now. By the way, Nifesime is the maid of honor.
Literally.
Literally, and our children are Ara
Oluwa and then Oluwa.
Ara Olua and Eniolua, who are Lamidun's
Children.
children.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you for your service.
and you know, I've turned out to be Nifesime's
Children
children.
as well, yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, so you have us both in frame properly, Abby?
yes.
Okay. Are you studying the question?
No. Like I'm trying to see which ones I want to choose. Or did you want me to ask each of them?
No, I
Okay.
enough time to.
Alright, No,
Okay, are you ready?
you can hold the phone.
Okay, I can
now.
hold phone here. Okay. Okay. So I think so that's one of the ways that the boys used to call nifs before they could say their full words. um can you tell me your favorite memory of our little ones?
Ooh, oh yeah. I know. So I think what comes to mind quickly is two things. One,
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed when their words were not formed
Mm-hmm.
and how creative they were with describing things.
Mm.
And those hangers that had the clips, they used to call them shark bites because they literally looked like a shark opening and closing its mouth. And for me, I think it was not just that it was funny, it was that they were intelligent and like discovering them as intelligent beings and not just babies who don't have their words formed yet, right? One of my favorite. I'm glad I captured some of them on recordings. I think the other bit for me is the thoughtfulness and kindness. I remember there was a day they went out to play in the garden with the nanny and they brought back flowers. I thought that was really cool. I think there was another day where I was actually thinking I needed money and I didn't say it to anyone. And Ara just hugs me and he says, I'm going to tell mommy and daddy to give you money. You need money. And for me, I think it's just a reminder that I don't see them as babies or toddlers. I see them more as adults in a small body. They're in a small body for now, adults in transit. And for me, just experiencing the surprise of what one would imagine their future selves doing even now and seeing that in seed form as well, because I can see that this child will always be kind because kindness is a part of their nature. It's a value that they've learned, it's a value that they've absorbed as well, and they appreciate that. For me is so cool. So those are my most favorite memories.
So, like you've dovetailed straight into my next question, and I thought I was going to skip it, but how would you say that these children of ours have impacted your life?
I think that every time I hold anybody's babies, first thing that settles in my mind and blows my mind simultaneously is that, for example, if I'm holding a baby girl, I'm like, everything I have, this baby girl has. And everything that makes a man, a baby boy has. And so for me, I view them from a place of respect. It then allows them to be able to influence me, which goes to the question you're asking. And so for me, when I see them being kind, when I see how quickly they forgive or they forget, it's a reminder for me as well. Many times I find that I'm introspective about how I handle things because the way they handle things inspire me. I remember recently I wasn't feeling well and they were going to go out and they were already by the door and he came back all the way to the room, told me he was leaving, said bye, and he said, remember to take care of yourself. I know you weren't feeling well before. And for days after, they're following up. I'm asking myself, am I following up when someone isn't feeling well, right? When we have a misunderstanding, they're being children, sometimes I'm at my wits end, like just go to bed or let the day just end. I'm also checking myself to say, am I more patient? Can I be more patient? Was that really a big deal? And I'm applying it to other relationships in my life as well, at least where my perspective is concerned. So yeah, they're definitely raising me as well.
Oh, I'll definitely say the same about them. Like even before I had children, but more so now that I have children, I've always considered children teachers because I feel like watching children is like watching the most pure form of humanity and how humanity could be. And so I retrain myself as much as I can with my experiences with children. I deeply respect children. I don't have a traditional African approach to looking at children like omodeni. Like I deeply respect and reverence the sanctity of a child's life. Not only because of what I learned from them, for example, in some of the examples you set out, but in the fact that, this could be a future president I'm talking to. I have no clue. This could be the inventor of, and my words carry weight in their life. How I speak to them, how I help them see themselves is important. So I definitely share with you the perspective that we're not only raising them, they're raising us as well, and forcing us to parent ourselves as well as we parent them. Thanks, Antoinette. Oh gosh, I know the answer to this, but what's that one thing that you love the most about spending time with them?
We play a lot and we laugh a lot. I think I enjoy laughing. Literally, I enjoy laughing. And I enjoy us doing it together. I enjoy how we seek out ways to just enjoy ourselves, regardless of where we are. We're mostly home, but even when we go out, like we're into one another, we're tickling and we're giggling for no reason. I love play is my favorite thing.
I agree with you. How do you approach discipline and challenging behaviors with Enilu and Aroluwa?
So I think I mirror my expectations. I think maybe I have a really good memory, but even as a child, I wanted to be treated with respect. I wanted to be honored. I didn't want to be treated like my understanding was somehow not complete. And so I try to meet with them from the point of understanding when it comes to discipline. I need them to understand why it is that we need to address the situation. And sometimes we work together to figure out what the preferred behavior could be, what that could look like. And so it may look something like this has happened, that wasn't correct. What can we do to fix it? And then just to test that that understanding is actually there, because like I said, my own feeling growing up was I don't want to be treated like I don't understand or I'm not capable of understanding. Help me get there. If I don't understand it, then help me get there. Like it's not my fault that I exist at this stage, right? And so we do the modeling of what happens next time. That gives me clarity that they understand. And guess what? They always prove that they understood. In the on the off chance that they didn't understand, when the behavior doesn't reflect that they did, it's not that they didn't understand, it's that they didn't remember. And so we practice the behavior. I mean, they're more than 2 years old now. I have seen that reflect in their behavior because it changes.
So interesting that you say that, because I think that my next question about what values or traditions you think are important as we raise them, I think is reflected in one of your answers. But the other thing that I really, really like that you mentioned is your way of disciplining them also teaches me some new um, skills to discipline or deal with their challenging behaviors. I think the other thing is the fact that we exchange information. You and I, we exchange information about things that we've seen, recommendations we hear people make, and then we actually contextualize it. Does it actually? Does this behavior that they've used as the example, although we found it relatable, does the context that they've displayed actually relate to our child? Because sometimes you consume information on the internet and you think that you need to implement it, but I think sometimes we discard some things because we don't think it's required, we don't think it applies, or we don't think that it meets our values as Christians. But what would you say are some of the key values or traditions that are essential for them to learn?
Communication, definitely. I love that that's from you and their dad raising them as their parents and their first models. And for those of us who surround them, speaking mostly for myself anyway, I try to align with what I see that you and their dad do. And so communication is really big. I really love how their dad talks to them with such respect and clarity, talking about choices. They're really young, but they understand choices. I think that it's also important that they learn confidence. Okay. By the way, my brother-in-law is one of my favorite people in the world. You meet me in a few minutes, I talk about him. But the other thing from him as well is the lack of entitlement and value for work and responsibility, whether it's helping carry a book, just so they know they're part of the family, they contribute to the family, laying their beds, so again, discipline and hard work. I think the other bit, obviously, is that I've observed you, and I think I do the same a little bit, where I don't hide my religious practices from them. When I'm praying, I pray in front of them, so much so that they're interested in prayer. They ask about it, they mirror it, they repeat what they see. And so I think for me, those are the top three I would say. A bonus one is that I gave you that feedback, by the way, that they're learning empathy from you. And I appreciate that you don't back down on things that are important, because I see them sort of, repeating that. I see them standing in the right identity, and it gives me some sort of confidence that the older they get, the more confident I am that their identity and their confidence won't be eroded.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
With God's help.
Amen.
By God's grace.
By God's grace.
Oh, thanks, Auntie Nif. I feel like you more than me. I know I'm I can be very spontaneous. I want them to try new things. But I also think that you do it very consciously as well. Or maybe that's how mommy and daddy raised us. Because I see mommy doing it as well, daddy doing it as well with them. But you want them to have new experiences. What are some of the things that you do when you want to encourage them to try something new or take a risk?
I lead by example. Most times I do it first, whether it's trying a new toy on the playground, whether it's getting on the bus first, whether it's even tapping on the bus first and then giving them the opportunity to sort of like attempt it, just so they know that they can try new things. I hear you and their dad say to them, and I say to them too, so they hear it in their community's voice. You can do hard things. And so for me, it's that mirroring it, doing it, encouraging them, but also not punishing them or forcing them to doing it. Sometimes it's okay, because sometimes what happens is, in introducing new concepts to children, whether it's in play or even from the educational standpoint, most times they don't understand why they're doing that thing. Children are very wired. They come wired with to know why, to understand why. It's like a baby. A baby will seek out, for example, anybody's breast, really. And so until you're able to say, yeah, no, I'm not the one who feeds you, that baby is seeking for a why. When that baby understands that why, they won't seek you for feeding. They can play with you and spend all the time, but they begin to understand that this is why I don't engage you that way. But if you don't give a child a why, many times they don't feel safe to try something new because it's not natural to them. So I think for me, it's also engaging them with the whys and letting them know it's okay not to try it now, or letting them know what is easiest and safest to try, and relating it with something they're comfortable with, or also presenting them with the opportunity for reward. So you really wanted to get excited and laugh. You're going to laugh so much when you bounce on the trampoline. I think it looks a bit scary. Shall we do it when there's only you on it? And so just negotiating it with them in that way is the way I introduce new concepts to them.
So one of the things that I love watching with you and them is how you communicate with them. As I said, it challenges me as well, especially on days when I'm overwhelmed, because I realize that it's me. Like, my child is having a hard time. My children are not bad children. They only know as much as their 4-year-old mind can grasp and what I've taught them. So if they're displaying something that I think I've taught them, then it either means I haven't taught them well, or there are other extraneous factors that makes it hard for them to do what I've communicated with them, or I feel like I've communicated with them. But I find that you do it so, I think that you do it so well, like communicating with them, getting information out of them, exchanging ideas with them. How would you say you prefer to communicate with us about their needs that you identify, or their schedules?
So I think for me, the easiest way comes from how I view them. I think they're extraordinary. And it's something I apply in my own personal relationships, regardless of the level. Communicating difficult information doesn't need to come from a place of diminishing the amazing things. So, for example, if I have a friend who is doing something that maybe doesn't align with my values or what I think are their values or their best identity, I don't allow that override what is true about them. And so I try to remind you about their winning qualities, and I try to help you see that because they are not perfect, I also try to encourage you to embrace them while they are in progress, while they're in the process of going from this difficult side to the other side. Because while some things may have come easier or more natural to them, it doesn't take away from the fact that they're the same ones who will get better at this, which is the other thing I see, right? We've all gotten better at things. We all went through potty training. It took some people 5 years, and some people were done in 10 months, And so for me, I'm like, they won't need potty training forever. And they don't. They're not going to need to be fed forever, and they don't, And so for me, I remember when you guys used to judge me, and some visitors judge me for always cuddling them, but guess what? They go to bed by themselves now. And so I think it's just reminding whoever, whether you or even their teachers, for example, that just remember that this person is in progress.
Thank you so much. Like, I've never been able to, I hadn't reflected on this question myself, so I'd never captured what I thought your communication style was. I would have said that I thought your communication style was helping us see why you think something is challenging, or why you think that something is needed, and then helping us see your ideas and telling us, well, this is one suggestion. Doesn't mean that's how you should do it, but I think that you should have these considerations.
You know what I realized? I think that from your feedback, I actually don't engage in that way consciously that that's not my style, that's not where I'm coming from. For one simple reason, it's the fact that for me, I actually blend into the background as concerns them. And so I'm not giving that feedback from a place of this is what is difficult for me about them. So it is really trying to say we're empowering them. It's not even trying to empower you, to empower them as it were. And so it's interesting that your perspective and mine are a bit different because mine is coming from the place of when they have this, regardless of who did it, it's success for us either way because it's these children who have evolved in this way.
What kind of support as an auntie do you think that you would find helpful in your role as you raise them?
To be fair, I've not had any significant challenges regarding raising them, and it's because I understand and I observe your parenting from a learning perspective. And so for me, I don't have any preconceived ideas of who I expect them to be. I'm simply looking out for what you expect them to be. And so far, I mean, they're not strange ideologies or anything like that. So I don't have any concerns. I think that it's also easy to give feedback. So far, I've not also had any negative feedback from you or their dad in terms of how I've given feedback. So I think we're doing okay in terms of being respectful in how we communicate feedback. And honestly, you receive feedback so well. You know, sometimes one feels a bit I guess self-conscious about giving feedback to anyone, more so in days when people feel like communities are not genuine support systems in that way, or we expect them to only support us on our own terms.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way with you. I feel like I'm allowed to support you, ergo raising them on my own terms. But I find that my strategy is simply my terms are your terms. So what you say is bedtime is their bedtime. I'm fun auntie, but I don't break those rules actually. So we do what we can to make it fun in my own way. But if bedtime is 8:30, then bedtime is 8:30. So I align with your values in that way, and I think we're doing good.
I think so too. I think we're doing great. How can we work together to ensure the kids continue to feel loved and supported?
I think for this age, I think we're fine in that we don't necessarily have too many external influences on them. I think as we go by, and it might be intuitive, we might need to be a bit more targeted about our strategy in the sense that, you know how they say good cop, bad cop? Generally, even in organizational development settings, leadership is typically not the easiest place for many people to go when they need to share sensitive stuff. And so I think for me, it will be taking advantage of that to provide them the support they need. And I think again, honestly, kudos to you.
Thank you.
I find that I'm able to do that from an anti perspective, reminding them that I love them, I'm here to support them. Sometimes I guess you probably are aware being yours and their dad's voices, or even the grandparents' voices say, you know, they love you, say I love you to your grandma, you can hug, okay, I know you're not comfortable to hug, okay, come sit with me. I think that overall, like intuitively we would know when to adjust. But then again, there are things that I guess we might need to discuss. And I guess because we also have a great feedback session, for example, when I'm there alone with them and they need to speak with their dad, I'm the contact person. That's usually when I give feedback. Somebody ate well today, someone didn't eat as much, and all of that. I think we'll keep that going as the milestones roll.
Awesome. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
You know, just talking about some of these examples just reminds me of how much you do, how much you pour in. So, Anthony, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to experiencing with our little ones in the future?
So I remember there was a day that you guys went out with them and I was home alone and I was so sad because I was like, oh my gosh, I miss them. And then I also then started thinking, one day I will sit at a wedding and I'll be the auntie of the groom, except they were barely 5 months old at the time. I was highly ridiculous. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all their milestones. I'm looking forward to school, well, big boy school. I'm looking forward to the evolutions in school. They have lots of extracurriculars. I'm looking forward to how they develop their gifts and talents. Because I think that's a really important part of childhood development. I swam, I played lawn tennis, and all of that. So, I'm interested to see what they decide to do and how they decide to express themselves. And more importantly, in terms of even how my own life evolves. Right now, I'm available to support them and all of that. But I'm looking forward to us maintaining closeness, even as my own life journey evolves, as theirs evolves as well. I'm looking forward to us carrying one another along, however way life flows.
Thank you, Auntie Nifs. We love you so much.
Love you
Thank you for
too.
raising the boys with us.
Thank you for allowing me. It's honestly my joy. I think from when I was really, really young, I look forward to being an auntie. So for me, I'm living my dream. So thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Auntie. And then I wanted to quickly talk about how, being an auntie and, sometimes it takes some of your time, being with them and, this season of your life is a different season and, one day soon, you will have your own children. How has being there for them or for your sister's children prepared you to, for your own time?
Right. I think one interesting part of it is them being twins. Before they were born, I had cousins' children to practice with, and then I had these two at once from day one. So I tell people like I literally have experience raising children from day one. So I think in that way, I don't feel apprehensive about it. I think it's more that than readiness. Also, because when we had them, I realized that there's nothing like readiness in parenting. You just make sure that you have as much information so that you can figure out what works for you. I think that also communicating helps a lot in terms of clarifying things and learning new things. There are things that I won't have known or thought about, but now that I'm in the place to learn, like I've said over and over again, for me it's about learning. There are many things I've seen that are shaping how I intend to parent, how I intend to raise my own children. There are many things that I have realized that I don't want to do because I would have thought that would be the ideal thing to do, or that would be according to the formula I assumed. And then I've seen real life and I'm like, yeah, that's not how it's going to work. I remember one time when boys were about 1 years old and they wanted something and they were, really fussing about it. And I turned to the nanny and I said, please just do it for them now. And the mom was like, it's okay, they'll learn patience. And I think it threw me off, but it recalibrated me. So yeah, I'm learning as well that really patience the value. How would they learn if I always give in immediately? They need to learn that neither their mom, their dad, nor myself, nor the world will always give in immediately or even give in for that matter. So yeah, I would say that I'm learning a lot and I really appreciate it. I think I've also come to the point where I'm also glad that I've had this opportunity to learn up close and hopefully make those who have shown me proud.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks, Auntie
you.
Nifs. Hugs.